biology, different things like that. It's not the funnest subject to talk about, believe it or not. I always say the problem with science in today's world is there's too many biologists and not enough ecologists. Raise your hand if you guys have ever heard of the 6th mass extinction period. Is that something that happened in the past? See, and that's the problem. People are hearing it now, but people aren't realizing we're talking about right now. We aren't talking about when the dinosaurs went extinct. When the dinosaurs went extinct, we think that a volcano happened the same time that a big asteroid hit the Earth. The soot blocked out the sun, made it to where the plants couldn't grow, and that made it to where the herbivores couldn't eat and the carnivores couldn't eat. It took about 1,000 years for all those species to go extinct. Right now on planet Earth, there is a 6th mass extinction period happening. We are losing animals 5 times faster than when the dinosaurs went extinct. We aren't talking about it, and I don't know why, because every one of you guys is informed. You have the opportunity to research whatever you want. So I want you guys to start getting into the environment, because this is your war. And believe me, it is war. In 2050, we scientists predict that there is going to be more plastic in our ocean than fish. That's the same year that we also predict coral reefs to become extinct. Coral reefs make up 25% of the species who live in the ocean. If they go extinct in those 25%, it will completely rock the other 75%. Our oceans will collapse, therefore our Earth will collapse. In 2050, I look at you guys as a 66-year-old man, and I'll say we did it. Or I'll take my hat off and say I quit, because there will be no need for Captain Planet on planet Earth anymore, because we will be well on our way to extinction. We too will be extinct. On average, we are losing 200 species every single day to extinction. 200 a day, guys. And we aren't even talking about it. What's that?
I said I'm vegetarian, so.
There you go. She's vegetarian. You know, diet is the single most impactful way that you can affect your planet as an individual. You know, doing the small things consistently is what really pays off. Being that person that refuses to use a plastic straw, or a person that refuses to use a plastic bottle. How many people drink out of a plastic bottle? Do you think that it's okay because you recycle it? Because it's not. See, this is the thing, guys. Adults really don't care about you. If they did, then we wouldn't be seeing the pictures that we do. We wouldn't be seeing the statistics that we do. Right now, on this day, there is an 8-to-1 ratio of microplastics versus plankton in our ocean. You guys know what plankton is? Like a microscopic algae. For every one of them, there's 8 pieces. There's 8 pieces of plastic. Imagine that. 75 to 100 years from now, those microplastics will be small enough to travel through the fish's bloodstream, making it toxic for humans to eat. If we take away seafood off the human diet, it's all out warfare. There's only so many cows to fight for, so many row crops to fight for. The whole world isn't vegan, and they're going to demand their protein. So you save the reef, you save the food. Save the food, you save that idea of peace. I want each and every single one of you guys to go home and tell your parents that it's now your job to take out the trash. It's your job to do the recycling. Why? It has to be. Mom and Dad don't care enough, obviously. You're being told that adults care about you, but at the same time, how could they be doing some of these things to the planet? Either they know and they don't care, or they just don't know. I'm optimistic that they just don't know, so it means it's your job to teach them. It's your job to say, no, Dad, the plastic grocery bag does not go in the blue bin, because if the trash man comes and he sees that in there, he'll throw our whole blue bin in the trash, and it'll go to the landfill. It needs to be your guys' jobs to start taking care of those little responsibilities like recycling are gonna pay off in the long run. This is your guys' war, plastic pollution. It is World War III. While we've been busy declaring war on terrorism, Earth declared war on terrorism. We are terrorists in this situation. People talk poorly about you guys. Are you aware of this? People call kids millennials, right? It's this new age, and the adults think because of these that you guys are just brainwashed, and people call you whiners and complainers. You know, and the reason why is like my grandpa, for example, the dude was like in high school getting drafted to World War II, storming the beaches of Normandy, you know, and then getting home and not complaining about it. You know, but we complain in these days. I get it though. I understand you guys a little bit more. But the problem is do you like it when the adults say that you're just a whiny generation that's gonna be nothing? What are you gonna do about it? You guys will be remembered in history. I can promise you that. You will be remembered in history, one way or the other. You will be remembered in history as the generation that couldn't fix my generation's problem, or you will be remembered as the generation who saved the planet and set a different kind of paradigm and a different way of thinking. You have to get educated enough to know that you don't use a plastic water bottle, period. When you recycle it, it's like a cool word. Because a water bottle can only be recycled 6 times until it can't be recycled into anything ever again. So that's like saying to me, Captain Planet, I filled up my water bottle 6 times out of the sink before I threw it in the trash. Isn't that sustainable? No, it's not. You guys need to think about population as well. Think about this, guys. When my algae professor was born, there was 2 billion people on the planet. Now, there is 7 billion people on the planet, and he's still teaching. 7 billion. If every kid wants to grow up to be just like mommy and daddy and have 3 kids and live happily ever after, do the math. You guys are old enough to multiply. Take 7 billion times 3. Take that number times 3. Take that number times 3. You're gonna realize that we only have about 3 or 4 generations left till we go, uh-oh, we should have been listening to that Captain Planet guy, right? This all is common sense, guys. This is your world and it's dying. 200 species a day should not set well with you guys. Coral reef extinction at 2050 with more plastic in your ocean should not sit well with you guys.